Daniel. Whatever she put her mind to do, she goes all out. And so I know without a shadow of a doubt, with her presentation today, when I say she put it on, I know she was up all night, all morning, all evening, putting this together just to give you food for thought. Wow. And not only that, but to encourage you, enlighten you, and to give you that information. And you know they always brag about life. And so at the end of the day, when she opens up her mouth and she speaks life. And so I want to thank God for this young woman who's here to present to us today. What's working in youth ministry, she's going to let you know, she's going to inform you, and she's going to give you some tidbits. And so let's take the time out to welcome Miss Mericha.
Wow, I was not expecting all of that. Wow. Thank you guys so much. I'm sorry, this is how I'm going to do a little bit more volume. This week has definitely taken a toll on my voice. So just a little bit help, as much as you can give me, I'd appreciate it. Well, listen, I'm excited to share with you guys today. I know you're eating, so I'm hoping that you could, multitask. I hope you can listen and eat at the same time. But I'm really, really excited to share with you guys today. And while you're getting your food, I want to tell you a little bit about myself. Some of you know me, and some of you may not know me. Do I need to bring it? Do I need to move it? Or is it fine? I'm good? So, last year when we initially first did this Saturday training, I was able to go into a lot more detail. This is who I am. I don't have time for that today because we have a lot of things that we need to get done. But I guess the most important thing, in particular to the topic that we're going to talk about today, is important for you to know that I am 31 years old and I've been in youth ministry for 15 years. Wow. So I have been in youth ministry from I was a youth. I was like about 3 months after my 14th birthday, handed an entire youth ministry at my previous church. And so youth ministry is not something that I decided to pick up and do last year because I felt like I like young people. Youth ministry is literally one of the things that actually has catapulted me to the place that I'm at right now. So as much as I love music and as much as I love singing, nothing has really pushed me as much as youth ministry has, as doing youth ministry has. So I was a youth leader for the majority of my teenage years, and I went off to school at age 21, and I went to Bible college. And it's a long story as to how I even got there, because it definitely was not my plan. I wanted to be a teacher. I had this dream of building, I went to school for the performing arts, grades 1 to 12. I wanted to build it on campus, and that was my dream. I wanted to be a teacher. Now here's the thing, isn't that dream an amazing dream? It's an amazing dream, and one of the things that God has taught me in my journey is just because it's something good, that does not mean that's what He's called you to do. And a lot of times we have these amazing things that we think, man, I can do this for God because this is what the community needs, this is what people need, this is what the nation needs. And listen to me, I was so sold on that dream. I was like, listen, I'm going to build this school, and we're going to have all of these gifted children who can sing, who can dance, who can act, who can rap, who can draw. They're going to have some place to go where their gifts can be, matured, and they can also get a proper education in that area, and that's what I was passionate about, and that's what I wanted to do. And then in the middle of me pursuing my passion, literally in the middle, I was coming to the climax of my second year at COB, because it was COB then. My Lord, COB then. My Lord. It was COB then, and literally, as I completed what is now my associate's degree in music education, God said to me, okay, time to go to Bible college. I said, Bible verse. I said, first of all, Jesus. No one is going to take me seriously with a theology degree, let's be real. I mean, come on, nobody's gonna listen to me. People who have degrees in theology, no disrespect, but society does not really respect them. That's our reality. It was our reality then when I was in COB in 2007, leaving COB, and it's our reality now. Unfortunately, the church is not respected. We're not held in high esteem the way that we should be. And so I was like, God, no one's going to take me seriously. They're not going to listen to me. I said, I won't have any impact or influence from the church. I was actually one of those people who wanted to have a job in the world. I wanted to have a marketplace job because I felt like if I worked for the church, I would not have impact. I felt like if I had a job working for the church like I have now, that I would not be able to influence lives. So I was like, God, whatever you do, wherever you place me, I'm working for the church. Here I am working for the church. So I went off to school. I did a double bachelor's degree. I have a Bachelor of Theology in Youth Ministry and a Bachelor of Arts degree in Worship and Ministry. So when I say that God literally told me I had no other option, ministry is my life, is who I am, is what He's called me to do, I had no other choice. But can I tell you that even after I said yes, even after I answered the call, even after I finished my degree, I just shared with Sandra last night, I went on 23 job interviews before I moved back to the Bahamas. I went to college in Canada. I went on 23 job interviews and I got no for all. I actually bought my plane ticket on it after my 21st interview, expecting the other two to be no, saying, okay, mommy, I tried every day, I coming home. I came home, I was jobless for a year. Because every time I interviewed, I just wanted a job. Like to be honest with you, I left my degrees off my resume for the majority of my job interviews in this country because I just wanted a job. So I didn't put my theology degree on there, I didn't put my ministry degree on there, I just put my associates in music education. Could you believe the Ministry of Education didn't even want to hire me? What? Could you believe that? They didn't have the money. God, listen to me. I was mind blown. I could not get a job. And I was like, okay, so my desire, Candace, to work in the world was just not what God had for me. So I started doing my little voice lessons on the side. That's how I was, putting gas in my car. And then, because I'm the persistent person I am, I kept putting my resumes out there, And I got this job eventually to Atlantis. I was working in Dolphin Key. Dolphin Key. So Moore and I worked at Dolphin Key for 3 months. 3 months. Because, for those of you who've ever had a job in the hotel industry or ever worked at Atlantis, they really only, when you are a temp employee, they give you 3-month contracts. So I'm what y'all think I got a people job and just looking at me after 3 months. I only had a 3-month contract. I finished off that 3-month contract some more and I said, the devil is a liar. I cannot do this anymore. And I remember because, believe it or not, I was still not a member of Life yet. But Bishop had been mentoring me actually for all of these years. And Bishop said to me, he said, now walk up. He told me walk up. Now walk up. Don't you leave that job. You need that little thing. Don't leave that job. And I said, sir, I said, if I stay on this job, I am not going to be saved anymore. I told him that, real talk. I went to church one time during that 3-month period because every Sunday I was working.
That's right.
So my spiritual life was literally suffocating.
Yes.
Like I felt like I was dying on the inside. And then life became so mundane, it was getting up, go to work, I making money. Listen to me, I was making money. I was making money. I was making $700 a week. I was making money. You know what I mean? I was making money. And not in my tips yet. Making money. So I said, yes, it's good money. money? Like, Bishop said, don't you move? I was like, money. Paying bills, doing this, doing that, taking care of the house. At that time, I had my nephews living with me at that time. My older sister and my husband during that time were going through some issues, so I took my nephews in. So I was taking care of my nephews, so I was dropping children to school and picking them up and ironing uniform and doing homework and all these things. And I was just like, what is this life that I have that seems like I exist to work, to make this money, to pay bills and go home and sleep? What is this life? What is this life that we live in right now? If all of us tell the truth, we go to work to pay bills. And when we are finished paying the bills, if money left, actually, no, let's tell the truth. We just go do the thing we want to do first, and then we just go pay the bills. Let's be real. And we just put something on the bill. We don't pay the bill before, because I mean, who does that? Right? So we put a little something on the bill just so they don't turn it off. But we exist in this routine. For some of us females, we exist in the routine. Gotta clean the house, gotta clean the dishes, gotta make sure the children got clothes, gotta make sure the house is clean, gotta make sure the husband eat, gotta make sure the children eat, okay, gotta make sure clothes iron, okay, gotta make sure this don't clash with that, so I gotta go do this, I gotta do that, and then, for the bills, okay, all right, wife gotta eat, and children gotta eat, and all right, I gotta make sure she happy, because she happy, I ain't happy. And and we all, and if we're single people, we doing, okay, so my life really revolves around me, but some of us single people, our lives so busy, we couldn't even get somebody in. So it's like, we got so much stuff going on, and then some of us be in school and we working at the same time, so we're trying to organize school work, with socializing, with going to church. Like, our lives are so consumed with stuff. And at the end of the day, we happy? Are we happy? Are we content with the routine of our lives? Where is, like Yah said, where is the passion in our routine? What is it in our lives that takes from us, and also gives back? What? Let's think about it. Your job takes all of your energy from you. You go to work. First of all, getting up in the morning is already a task. Let's be real. Especially if you're over 30.
My God.
The things your body is doing to you sometimes. It's like, what? I only went to sleep and woke up. What? What you mean? Your leg hurt? What do you mean? Why is your leg hurt? You was only in the bed sleeping. Why are you hurting? What is that? And why am I taking painkillers every day, Jesus? Like what? And I haven't reached 40 yet. I'm here. I don't even want to hear it. I only 1 year after 30 and I just like, my body is betraying me. But I mean, that's real talk. This is reality. What in our lives gives as much as it takes? And that's the conversation that I want to have with us today. Because the reality of the matter is, this is so old school, like straight up, like Bible. Only that which you do for Christ will last. And only the things that we do for Christ take energy away from us, but also give back to us. And that is the premise upon which I live my life. And I want all of us to be pushed into that direction. So similar to the conversation that Cass had with us earlier today, but I want to make this one personal. So all of you have folders, you have pens, and you have paper, you have some note paper. I want you to sit down, and I literally want you to lay out your daily routine. Pick the most busiest day of the week that you have.
Every day.
Okay, well, pick a day. And I want you to lay out your routine. From morning, from when you open your eyes, until you close your eyes at night. Write your routine down on a piece of paper. Everything that you do, even if you just brush your teeth first, some of us don't, but if you just brush your teeth first, put that there.
Okay.
Lay it out, detail.
What if it's school open? What if it's closed?
School open, it's just busy. School open, and they say like, I want this like September school open. It's like November school open. You know, November is a crazy month. It's like, what happened? Yeah, when the traffic on the road and the devil business, because everybody forgets school opening. And everybody forget what time they used to wake up. Right? So all of a sudden we now sitting in a level of traffic that we never ever had before because people didn't remember that we had a time when we used to drive on the road, when I didn't drive on the road, and now all of us on the road together, trying to pretend that we're early birds. How long we know early birds now? Well, go be late so I can be early. Lay out your routine. Anybody on page 2 yet? If I was doing this, I'd be on page 2. Because for some of us, after we finish talking to Jesus, when we pick up our phone, my God. If you're anything like me, I got like 77 messages on my phone. But I touch my phone in the morning. And out of them 77 messages, probably like 25 of them is somebody's child. Because they got drama going on in their life. Anybody, anyone that finished yet? Go. Listen, I don't let it be like a Wednesday to be no more food there from Sunday. I mean, it's true. If it's Wednesday and no more food left on Sunday, you gotta cook. Or buy food.
What's wrong with you?
Leave this alone. This is powerful. For some of us, Saturday is it. Lisa says she finished. For some of us, boys, if somebody see what Lisa do on Saturday, some of us 4 hours in the hair salon. If it's a Friday night, 3 hours in the barber shop. Because I mean, when you go to the barber shop, you gotta pay. You gotta pay on those stuff I comment. You can't just go get hair. All right, as I see, a lot of us are still formulating our lists. This is a personal moment now. This is, cut the music. This is personal introspection now. This you. It's not nothing to do with anybody else sitting at your table. Out of this list of things that you have sitting in the front of you that consumes your life on a daily basis, please tell me what gives back to you. What? There's a mic on every table. Tell me on that list, what gives back to you? Everything on that list takes something from you in some way, shape, or form. Whether it's energy, whether it's time in your mind to process it, whether it's physical time to just go to organize things, or whatever, it takes something away from you. What on that list gives back to you? Say, look, tell me.
Gratitude, my children show me, and I do. They always say thank you, Mom.
You're some angels, what's your name?
That's prayer though. Prayer.
Prayer.
It's been long. But I had told them one time, even when I'm cooking, stirring the rice, I say, in the name of Jesus, give them subjection.
I got you.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Yeah, you have to really honesty. Because if you don't pray over them, and I only have boys,
Right.
if you don't pray over them,
Right.
them jokers will kill you.
Yeah, they show good.
But the
I know,
gratitude they show me,
I have to.
and I always tell people that when I give my children their food, they always say thank you.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's not That's awesome. Anybody else want to share? What gives to you out of this list? What gives back to you?
Okay. All of my things.
What
All of my crazy things.
Yeah, I do mind.
The part that winds me down and motivates me for the day is when I don't make drop kids off for the office. That's the time that we use for devotion. We use that because every time it's so crazy. So on the way, dropping everybody off to school at
Right.
devotion time. Everybody know what is assigned to them that particular morning for them to do the devotion.
And that's what gives back to
Yes,
you.
that gives me my energy, and after they drop me off on the way to the office, it suits me. Because
Okay.
I see with my children, what I put in them,
Okay.
they're able to sustain it, and they can pray.
Okay.
They can this, they can that, and I feel good, and that's my time to pray and thank the Lord for those of times I feel throwing them
Right.
in a cage.
Right.
Sometimes I make them feel like that them walk to school because it's like they get praise them,
Right,
but
right,
when I
right.
get in the car and we get into school and that devotion time start and fellowshipping, that gives me back. And also my energy that I lost that morning, I get to the office, it's there.
Awesome. Anybody else?
Well, I didn't write a list down, but it's in my head. Could have a lot of things going on.
Yeah.
But one of the things that I do, my prayer life, praying gives me a peace of mind. It invites the Holy Ghost in. And with that, I'm able to have a successful day. Rough sometimes, but I remember that the Holy Ghost is within me. And so that day becomes successful and easier, yes. Another accomplishment is to see my students excel. I don't have any kids, but they're my kids, and I always tell them that. To see them excel on a daily basis, and to see that child who can't read or who can't get a math concept, and to see him get that until the lights in his eyes just say, oh my God, this stuff, I get it. That's my accomplishment.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Anybody else? This is my subject. Think. Don?
Yes. For me, I think what keeps me going is the fulfillment knowing that I try every day to purpose my life to help someone. Because when I look at children and wives sometimes,
Yeah.
jobs sometimes, at the end of the day, they take so much from you.
Yes.
A couple of weeks, my family, they went on vacation and they came back home. And the wife is like, you happy to be back? And I was like, well, I wish I could sponsor you on another week. Because the house was quiet. I had to come home and say, the children get this over, this over. So knowing that I could go there every day with the power of God to help someone, minister to someone, I just feel I have great joy in that to keep me going.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Anybody else?
So for me, a couple of things. When I come to prayer meeting, I revise me, Bible study, but also being a blessing to others. So whether God places my heart to be financially or whatnot, and also get my running. Running for me is relaxation, and so I try to do that throughout the week. So that's
One of the things that gives back to me is that I started a HR, well I'm now finished, human resource management. And as long as it was, the reason it gave back to me was because one of the things that has been placed in my heart was job preparedness. A lot of times we see people apply, young persons applying, they don't know stuff. And because I know that I'm doing this to further qualify myself, not for the job, but to now say, well, hey, guess what, this is what you need to be doing to get where you want to be. That is something that gives back aside from prayer. So, it's awesome.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I know that for me personally, if I tell you the truth, and some of you may look at me like, what? But I agree with y'all. I love what I do. It's important for me to do that. I love what I do. I love the fact that I work for a church. I love the fact that I get to go on the radio today, every day, encourage people every day, encourage people. I love that I get to make ministry happen. I love that I get to have conversations about how to make ministry better. I love the fact that I get to actually make ministry happen. But if I tell you the truth, that's not what gets me up in the morning. That's not what tells me. We should get out of bed. Get out of bed. Face today. On my worst days, Pastor Conrad, what gets me up in the morning is those 25 text messages in my phone from some young individual who, for some strange reason, they have decided to attach themselves to me. And they're asking me, Mericha, if you had the situation, what would you do? If you had to face this, what would you do? I don't get up out of bed for me most days. I get up out of bed because there's a demand on what God has placed on the inside of me. If I rely on what I love to do and what I was passionate about and my prayer life and the things that I've been trained to do, if I relied on those things to get me out of bed, not on those days, I would not get up out of bed. Because if I don't do it, I don't get the benefit of it. But the crazy thing about what God has placed in my life is that there are people that He has placed there strategically to demand what He's placed on the inside. I don't even get an opportunity to say no. I can't even say, you know what, I'm stressed out today. I can't handle it. I got personal issues. I can't do that. I can't do that. And the reality of the matter is, for the majority of us in here, if we tell the truth, one of the main reasons we are not faithful and we are not committed fully to what we're supposed to be doing in ministry is because we're not getting anything out of it. That's why we could work a whole month straight and then next month we don't show up. Because it's taking from us and it's not pouring back into us. And it's really because we're giving something that God has not placed on the inside of us. So many of us are operating in areas of ministry that we have not been called to. And for some of us, if our pastors have placed us in these positions, we have not sought God and said, God, give me what I need for these people that my pastor is now telling me that I need to lead. We've not sought God for it. So what we do is we stand up in front of these children, we stand up in front of these young people, and we pour out of ourselves. We don't pour what God has placed in us. We pour out of ourselves, and then we're empty. We're frustrated. We're annoyed. We're angry. We're upset. Because we feel like, I'm giving. God, I'm doing your work. God, I'm doing what you said I should do. God, I'm functioning in ministry. I'm working for the church. Why am I so tired? Why am I so exhausted? Why am I so frustrated? Why am I so annoyed? Why these people don't want to hear what the young people have to say? They're making me mad. Because we're pouring from a place that we were never meant to pour from. We're pouring from a space we were never meant to pour from. Because first of all, you have nothing to give anybody. We don't have anything to give. I don't have anything to give. If we all tell the truth, Scripture tells us very plain and clear, it is in Him that we live, move, and have our being. Outside of Him, we are nothing. Outside of Him, we cannot function, especially not in ministry. It's His church. It is the Lord's church. That is something that Bishop Denzel says to me every day. Every time he sees me walking around the office, and I'm frustrated with dealing with an individual or a situation, he'll tap me on my shoulder and remind me, hey, it's the Lord's church. It's His bride. Doesn't a husband take care of his wife? Doesn't a husband take care of his wife? Doesn't Scripture, listen, we releasing a word in the atmosphere. It is the responsibility of a husband to take care of his wife, to wash her over with the word. It is the responsibility of Jesus Himself to ensure that His bride has everything that she needs. Why are you placing that responsibility on your shoulders as a leader? That's not your responsibility. That's not your responsibility. And a lot of times, we walk into ministry with this approach that we have to do everything. And it has to happen through us. And the first time something buck up, first time we get upset, the first time some church person say the wrong thing, because we all know that people just don't know what to say sometimes. God bless their hearts, but they really don't know what to say sometimes. And so the first time somebody says something negative, now all of a sudden bitterness is on the inside of you. And bitterness is on the inside of us because we were pouring from ourselves. We weren't releasing what God has given us because we ain't gone to Him in the first place. And that is the foundation of burnout. That is what we would call the genesis of burnout. When we decide, okay, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this my way. And you know what? It's not because it's our heart's intention not to consult God. That's not what it is. Sometimes we get so busy in our lives, we have so much stuff going on, that we just go, and we just do. And we don't even realize, hold on. We don't have like 3 Sunday school meetings. We don't have like 4 children's ministry meetings. We don't have like 5 lead groups. And as a leader, I haven't even prayed to God yet. As a leader, don't get me wrong, me and God having our personal conversations, because I pray in the morning when I wake up. I'm in my Bible. So it's not like my personal life is void of the presence of God. But your personal life does not pour into your ministry life. I need you to know that. Your personal life, your personal time with God is for the developing of you as an individual. It has absolutely nothing to do with what God puts into you to be poured out to someone else. And I know that seems crazy. That would seem like that would make sense, but the truth of the matter is, if you pour from that place, you will find yourself eventually empty. Because you've given others what God has given to you. Because when God pours into us, He pours into us for us. For us to be full. And then when we pour out, we're supposed to be releasing from the abundance that He placed on the inside of us. We're not supposed to be pouring from our reserve. But when you pour from your reserve, you know what eventually happens? You're empty. You have nothing to give. And then you go to your pastor and you say, you know what, I'm so sick of these church people. I'm so sick of these bad children. They bad. Their parents don't train them. Their parents don't talk to them. They just rude. I'm tired. Y'all working me, and y'all ain't paying me, and this ain't my job, so I'm done. However, did we really go to Him? And did we say, this ain't no deep right now. This ain't no robot shaka. This ain't that. This is, okay, God, if you called me to do this, I don't have what these people need. You do. You are the source of all good things. You are the only source. So, if there is something that they need, Father, place it on the inside of me and give me the wisdom to release it the way that they need it. And God, if this is not what you've called me to, tell me. And y'all stop pretending like God don't talk. Because He does. You looking for some deep voice? Oh, now Stephanie, thus says the Lord. Do this anymore. Y'all know God don't talk to y'all like that. Y'all know that. I know that. But we know when God is speaking. You know how we know when God is speaking? Because we fight it. We fight it. The first time God says something we don't like, child, I need confirmation. I need God to send somebody else to say, I sound like God. You know that's God. You know that's God. That's what you need confirmation for. What you need confirmation for? Why? Why do you need confirmation? Because you don't want to receive it. No, you don't want to receive it. You don't want to receive it. And I need to make this very clear. I'm not speaking from a book. I I am not speaking from a place of authority. Listen, this is my struggle. I'm telling you, I'm exposing you my struggle. There's so many things that God has said to me do this, and I'm like, okay, God, I can pray with it. Sorry, excuse me, is it prayer conversation with me? So I gave you an instruction. That's me talking to you. Now you can come back to me and ask me about it again. How annoyed would you be if you give your child an instruction and your child comes back to you and says to you, Mommy, can I talk to you about what you just told me to do? Daddy, can I do? Okay, so just help me understand this. Y'all listen, y'all will be ready to slap that child, cross them out so quick. And you can just, this is what we do to God all the time. We do this to God all the time. God gives us an instruction and be like, okay, so, all right, tell me it again. Okay, I understand what you're saying, right? But then that means that like I have to stop doing this in order to do that. So explain it to me one more time. So like, and then like, can you just like expose to me how everything is going to work? Because I don't want to have any faith in you. I just want to see the whole situation laid out, to see how it's going to happen, and then I will proceed with your instructions. Excuse me? Because the truth of the matter is, God, it really ain't about what you told me to do, and you getting the glory. It's about how I feel doing what you told me to do. Unfortunately, this is our approach to not only just life, but this is our current approach to ministry. And this is why we're failing. Not because there are no young people in the church, not because we don't feel like we have our pastor's support, not because church ain't giving us no money, the church ain't got no money, period. The church can't even get AC. How we gonna have a children's ministry? That's not what it is. It's not lack of money. It's not lack of anything. All of this is lack of God. We've not sought Him. We've not truly pursued God. Not for us. You know, I mean, I'm like, now look at yourself. I can tell you on spiritual lives, John, ain't nobody in here look depressed. And if you have discernment, like we all do, we're all filled with the Holy Ghost in this room. We have discernment. You'll be able to sniff depression in this room if it was here today. So while we may not be at like the mountain top, some of us like in the middle of the mountain, ain't nobody in here in the valley.
Yeah.
Y'all also agree. No one in here is in the valley. So if that's the case, if that's the truth, that means that you and God charming. That's what he said, like you and God charming. Very cool. So He's giving you everything that you need. Why He can't give you everything you need for other people? I wish somebody had told me that when I first took over Teen Life. Oh, Jesus. I wish someone had told me this when I was functioning in Generation Next with Ministry of Campus. When I used to be crying and losing sleep over children, over people's children, and they sleeping sound. They ain't even checking. They turn stressing me out. I losing sleep. I mean, like, under my eye, all kind of vibes, headache and thing, over your child, you sleeping comfortably. Nothing wrong with you, because I threatened with your child. And I wish someone had told me that what I have on the inside of me would never be enough for what they need. I wish someone had told me that. I wish someone had told me that every strategy that I put together, every wonderful lesson plan that we make, every icebreaker, every topic, every worship song, whatever you want to call it, whatever we plan, what we come together, games, activities, I wish someone had told me that that would not be enough. Because I would have started with Him to begin with. And if you don't remember anything else that I have said today, we need to make sure that our foundation is Him. Yeah. Bottom line. Our foundation is Him. I am convinced, not because Scripture tells me, not because some pastor told me. I have experienced being at the lowest of my lowest place, personally, in my own personal life, and standing before the young people in this church, and God pouring into them through me. And I go right back to God for Him to pour into me while I pour into Him. I wasn't tired. I wasn't exhausted. I wasn't frustrated. I was just in awe of the fact that I'm watching them get everything that they need from God, and I'm not losing my mind while it's happening. And the beautiful thing about what God does is He allows the very words to come out of our mouth that we need almost always in every situation and circumstance that we have to deal with. When some individual comes to us, He places the exact thing that we need to hear in our own mouth. That's what He does. Today, I am so not Church of God, not saved, not Holy Ghost, because I give you no passage of scripture for nothing that I said today. I only give you an experience. This is my experience. My experience is that every single time one of those young people pulls on me, I have something to give them, but it's not coming from me. And I am humble enough to recognize that it's not me. I wish it was. Y'all can lie and pretend like y'all ain't wish it was real. And y'all wish it's in your bright idea. Sometimes I feel like, God, I can't take credit for myself. This is really good. That's some good stuff. And I was like, go on with yourself. You'll be right for yourself. Calm down. But real talk. Sometimes I wish I was that smart. Well, I'm not smart. I'm not. That's my introduction. Are you so serious? That's my introduction. Pastor Gardner, I'm moving on your way right now. I have 4 points for you. No, I really am. I have 4 points for you. And then I just want to do a little quick explanation as to what you guys will be receiving today. And then I'm going to get out of the way and make space for the best general youth director ever. Okay, so I have 4 points for you. The first thing is youth ministry is messy. It's messy. Funny enough, it's so interesting. While we were preparing the packages yesterday, Ronan and I were having a conversation. We were actually having a conversation about the difference between Danny and Anaya. So, Danny don't like to get his hands dirty, right? Danny would prefer to use a fork and knife. Danny don't want no ketchup on his hands, no dirt on his clothes, don't step on Danny's shoes. If your hand's dirty, don't touch Danny with your dirty food hands. Danny wants to be clean. You know, on our run.
Oh, yes.
5. Danny do not like mess. Whereas Anaya, oh God. Listen, y'all pray, Jasmine and Robert will strengthen the Lord. Because Anaya, when she eats, you can see everything that she done eat. It's going on her clothes, on her hand. Like, that's just her. Anaya does not mind getting dirty. She has this way of diving into everything that she does, and she does not care the effect that it has on her. And while me and Denny could grow up any day, because me and Denny can eat in my car any day. She's really good, because there are no crumbs when Denny eats in the car. But Anaya has this thing about her that I love, where every single thing that she comes into contact with is on her. You see it. There is evidence that she has come into contact with this thing. You can't, listen, if Anaya eats some chicken and fries with ketchup and hot sauce, there will be evidence that she has come into contact with that ketchup and hot sauce. How many of us can say, when we're done with our lesson on Sunday morning in Sunday school, when we're done with our youth group meeting, when we're done with our children's ministry meeting, that there is some sort of residue on us because we've gotten in people's mess? How come you clean?
Come on, I don't be clean.
Why you clean? Why your clothes in and dirty and you just finished dealing with people mess. Why are you clean? Why don't you have anything to pray about after your meeting? How come you're so free? Nothing bothered you? Nothing made you go on your knees after that meeting tonight? You left church on Sunday morning and there was no young person in church that Sunday. Why is that okay? Why are you okay with that? How come your hands so clean? I understand who should stand to the hill of the Lord. Yeah. Clean hands, pure heart. I got it. That's sin, man. Why are you not carrying the weight of another individual? Your brother and sisters, keepers who you are. And if you're working in this ministry, now what Jesus is saying to you is what he says to Peter, do you love me? Feed my sheep. Feed my sheep. Do you love me? Feed my sheep. Do you love me? Feed my sheep. That's what he's saying to you now. So you're not just a church member. You now have the responsibility to carry a weight, to get your hands dirty. There should be a stain on you somewhere from carrying the weight of another individual. Even if it's only one. Why are you so clean? Touch your neighbor, ask them, why are you so clean? Why are you so clean? I enjoy this. Because I wish I could tell you all I wrote this down. This is good. This is good. Youth ministry is time consuming. It's time consuming. Listen, if you aren't ready to put in no time, just say no. Just say no. Youth ministry is time consuming. I'm going to expose my leaders for a second. First of all, let me say this. It wasn't always like this, and I realized that it is definitely all God. I have the most amazing group of people here at Life Worship Center. Like, crazy. Like, they are incredible. Let me tell some of these leaders I got. These leaders I got. It's being messaging me 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Am I way up? I'm up. It's true. I'm up. Because me and Jesus still working on my sleeping habits. So y'all pray for me. Pray for me. I'm up. My leaders, and I wrote my leaders message me 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. They sent me like 6-minute voice notes. Soliloquies. Recitations. And I'm really on there all the time. I love y'all, you know. I love y'all. I don't be on the run all the time, Candace. But youth ministry is time consuming. So even when I don't feel like it, I recognize the way that God has set things up is that I have the opportunity to pour into them, and then they in turn pour into our teams. Now, of course, there are some teams that I definitely touch as well, but the leaders do more touching of the teams than I do. So when they come to me, I gotta pour into them. Time. When we sit down and we have our meetings are supposed to be an hour. I'm sorry. Okay, first of all, I leave the children's ministry in there. They go on this time of meeting. It was after 11 o'clock. I didn't even, they were still out. They're spraying those people like Holy Ghost. But no, for real, it is time consuming. It's time consuming. Our meetings are supposed to be an hour. Most times our meetings turn into 2-3 hours because we spend like maybe an hour planning, but we spend the rest of that other time sharing with one another what's going on in our personal lives, upholding one another and praying for one another. Because the people that you're working alongside, they're not just people. The people that you're pouring into, they're like, if we as leaders recognized us in every person that we came into contact with. And we treated them the way we would want to be treated. We will see how time-consuming ministry is. Because when someone is dealing with your situation, you want them to take their time. You want them to hear everything that you have to say. In fact, it would be so amazing if they could actually repeat to you some of the things that you said, to know that they got it, and then help you to get out of it. That's what you want. And so, if that's what you want, how about me giving that? Giving that away. Or maybe, well, I don't. And they take up plenty of my time, and sometimes I say, okay, I can pray. Or y'all don't want to tell the truth. Okay, well, I will tell the truth. Sometimes when these young people come to me, I say, okay, I can pray. And I be like, Lord, can you deal with that? And that's the longest my prayers right there. Because I'm too selfish to actually spend the time to pray for real. But if it was me, I want you sackcloth and ashes. I want you to listen. I want you robo shakatama. I want you pray for me. But my truth is, I don't really do that all the time. You don't do that. Youth ministry is time consuming. And notice I did not bring up anything about planning and trying to figure out what you're going to do. And that. No, I'm talking about the spiritual elements of youth ministry. It is time consuming. If you are not exhausted from praying for your young people, you ain't doing it right. If there is not a burden on you to pray for your young people, something ain't right. Something's not right. It is time consuming. It requires your time, not just your energy, your time. Your time. If you're not prepared to give it the time, don't bother with it. That sounds harsh and cold, but that's reality. If you don't want to give it the time that it needs, don't bother with it. Sit up with the youth ministry is time consuming. Oh, that's nice. Okay. Cass talked about this, I'll be really quick with these last 2 points. Youth ministry is sacrifice. Say that with me. Youth ministry is sacrifice. Youth ministry is sacrifice. Sandra, you didn't get one before you want to sing up. You didn't get one before you want to sing up in the memory house. Candace, when I look at my life, and I look at the things that I spend money on, I mean, I stick it in here, you real like shop. I say, you real like shop, she like things, so they ain't all of that. But, yes, things. Put that aside. When I look at the things that I spend money on, I spend so much money on church. Yes. There were some months in my earlier days at Life Worship Center when my entire salary ended up going right back into Life Worship Center. All I did was put gas in my car. And we pooled in the office together like we used to do when we went to launch class every day at McDonald's. But literally all of my money would end up going right back into the church. So, I mean, how do I have a house? And if I'm always doing ministry, where do we to do it? Where is he? Yeah. That's a whole other conversation. Me and Kevin just was talking. That's a whole other conversation for another day or time. So, my question is, what are we really willing to sacrifice for the sake of another individual? What are we willing to sacrifice for another generation? Because we are sitting here because of somebody's sacrifice. Somebody said no to their family. Someone said no to their priorities. Someone said no. And that's why we're there. Because somebody decides to say, okay, God, yes, I am going to do this. And no, I'm not going to do that. And they sacrificed an element of who they are, an element of what they love to do, an element of something that they needed to do, Francina, to make sure that you could sit here today, that you could be the man and woman of God that you are now. So how come we think in the 21st century church we don't have to do any sacrifice? You stick it in the microwave and you pull it out. Bam! What? No! We don't have to say no. So no statue can't go on a day tonight. It's Friday. It's time for you, group. It is time for you, group. You can't go on a date. I'm sorry. Tell that girl to come to your group. Because you gotta be in church. Because there's gonna be a young man that walks into that door that Friday night who's gonna be saved because you're there. So no, and I'm gonna be very petty in this. So no, you can't skip your group because it's your girlfriend's birthday. Yes. You can't miss children's ministry meeting because it's your boyfriend's birthday. Because they don't ring on your finger. So what you doing? Where's the sacrifice? Where's the sacrifice? Why don't we sacrifice for the things that God you love? What if this sounds crazy, but what if right now God decided, you know what, I don't feel like letting you breathe right now. I don't feel like it. So you know what? Don't breathe. All us dead. Because if you don't feel like it, what? But you can't come to church because you was out late last night. And so that young person, that one young person who's never been to your church before, they walk into your church that Sunday morning and you youth leader, you ain't there because you tired from Saturday night. The Saturday night, your job had an event and you worked so hard Saturday night and all you did was give. And all your job did was take from you. You got nothing from that Saturday night. But here comes Sunday morning now, when you could actually get something and give something at the same time and you stayed in your bed. You stayed in your bed. I will tell you, touch your neighbor, they might be mad with you. So don't even look up. Don't even like, close your eye. Close your eye. Talk to yourself and say youth ministry is sacrifice. Youth ministry is sacrifice. My last point. Youth ministry is the future. Youth ministry is the future. Youth ministry is the future. I can't speak for anybody else in this room. I can only speak for myself, so I'm not building up myself. I can only speak for myself. Because of the youth leaders that I had, I'm standing in front of you right now. I didn't drop out of thin air. I am the product of, I'm trying to make sure I have this in the right order. I'm the product of Rodney Williams, of a Ken Hall Neal, of an Amanda Carroll, of a Darrell Hurston, of a Samantha Cartwright, of a Denzel Roll, of a Robert Roll. I am the product of the spiritual leaders that have poured into my life. So my question is, why do you not think it is your responsibility to make one of me? Why do you think it's not your responsibility to make one of me? Why are you not duplicating yourself? Is there someone that's walking alongside you that you're pouring into? Or are you taking all of it for yourself and then when you die, would you do that? Because you know, churches are always amazing when you initially have that first pastor. and everything booming. And then that pastor does not mentor another individual to take over leadership, and then he dies, and then church dead. Sheep scattered. So, how are you preparing yourself as a leader to lead for the future? Yes, there's a lot that we have to do as for now. But while we are working for now, we have to work for the future at the same time. You are not always going to be the person responsible for your Sunday school, for your children's ministry, for your YPE, for your youth ministry. You're not always going to be that person. Eventually, there's going to be transition. If it's not transition to another ministry, another area of ministry, it's going to be transition from this earth. But transition is inevitable. So, how are we preparing our youth ministries for the future? How are we, as individuals, pouring into the next generation? Are we duplicating ourselves? And no, you're not making a clone. That's important for us to know. You're not cloning yourself. Because the way that God has called me to lead a youth ministry is going to be completely different from the way Jessica does it. She's going to do it according to the gifts and talents and abilities that God has given her. So when we do actually walk out this concept of mentorship, we cannot expect people to be us. Because they're not going to be. But we have a responsibility to make sure that we duplicate ourselves. So the things that are innate in you, and you look at one of the persons who's working alongside you or coming up underneath you in ministry, and you realize that they don't really, it's not innate in them to do that, then you make sure you pull them in and they walk alongside you and see your processes and see how you are intentional and see how you lay things out and see your approach to ministry. Don't leave them in the dark. That's why we're here right now, We're sitting in this room right now while we honor our leaders and we love them. We're sitting in this room right now because there were things that they left us in the dark about. We don't want to admit that because we don't want to dishonor them, but that's our reality. For many of us, the majority of the buck-ups that we have in life is because our parents, they just did not tell us. They didn't want us to know, they wanted to protect us. There were things they kept from us. But we needed to know. So we didn't duplicate the same mistakes that they did. So let's ensure that we don't duplicate generations, but that we improve on generations.
Okay.
We want to take the things that they did that were good. There was such an intentionality, a fervency in being holy in Highway Church of God. And I say was because it's not there anymore. The standard of holiness is dropped. You don't want to admit it, but it's dropped. It has dropped. But there was such an intentionality that our forefathers had. You had to be holy. Without holiness, no man should see God. We need that. We need that. But we need to make sure that when we present it, it's in a way where it's attractive. So just like the conversation we had yesterday, Ronette, listen, I live holy. I don't have sex outside of marriage because I know what it does to me mentally. Tell your young people about that. Don't just tell them stop having sex. Right? Tell them why they need to be holy. Tell them why they need to live pure. Tell them from your experience, listen, I didn't do it. And this is what happened to me. Don't hide that from them because you're ashamed. You overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of your testimony. So once you release that from your mouth, the enemy cannot no longer hold that over your head. Youth ministry is the future, and if we don't release what God has placed on the inside of us to the next generation, we will eventually have no churches. This is the biggest burden on my heart as a member of this organization. Because when I look around our churches, this is me now, this is my personal opinion, this is It's not anybody else's thought, this is me. When I look around, our churches are dying. They're dying because we're not pouring into the next generation. We're not pulling them in. We're not allowing them to see how much we love God and why we love God the way that we love God. We're not doing that. We're failing at that. And the people that are sitting in this room, we have the next generation in our hands. We can't let them die. We can't let the Muslims and the Buddhists grab them because they indoctrinate them so young. Because they're so convinced that their God is the God that they will not into them. Are we not convinced that our God, listen, we serve the God of the universe. How come we are not so convinced as they are? We have a responsibility to think future. Say that with me, youth ministry. Oh wow, youth ministry is the future. All right. That's all I have to say to y'all. But today, youth ministry is messy. Youth ministry is time consuming. It's sacrifice. It is the future. Today, it is my personal desire, and I can actually say this with confidence. I know that it is the desire of our general youth director and of our general superintendent that what we do as it relates to children's and youth ministry in Highway Church of God becomes the thing that makes us up in the morning. That is the desire of our general youth director. That's the desire of our general superintendent. That this be the thing that fuels our lives. That when we're having down and depressed days, when life hits us, when everything is going haywire, and even when everything is good, and when there's times of joy and happiness, that we have this thing that literally pulls from us. But in order for us to do that, the truth of the matter is, we have to make sure that God is the one pouring to us, and not us releasing from ourselves. I just want to pray real quick. Father, we thank you. Thank you that you spoke to us today, God. You spoke to each and every one of us today, God, and you released yourself in this place. Thank you, God. We're so grateful to you. Thank you for equipping us. Thank you for allowing us to encounter your truth, God, in a unique way. But Father, we thank you that you see everything there is to know about us. You understand the ins and outs of our lives. You understand the craziness. You understand our busy schedules. You understand everything, God. And in your sovereignty, you allow everything that happens to us, knowing what we have to do. Knowing that there is a group of people, Father, that need us. So, Father, we ask you to help us to rely on you. Help us to trust you to give that we need. Help us to believe in your power, God, that we can demonstrate it. Help us to live holy, God, so that we can demonstrate what true holiness looks like. Help us to be passionate about you and your church. We pray, as Jesus prayed, quoting the Psalms, God, allow zeal for your house to consume us. Let it consume everything that we are. That when we wake up in the morning, the first thing that's on the forefront of our minds is, God, how can we give you glory today? And how can giving you glory today impact the life of some other person? Give us your heart. Give us your eyes to see. Give us your ears to hear. But God, most of all, give us you, because that's what we need. We pray these things in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen. Really quickly before Pastor Conrad comes on, what we have put together for you as a general youth department is a children's and youth ministry survival kit. On the inside of that kit, it was supposed to be 52 weeks of curriculum, but unfortunately, two people who write it, they're not super with it. So you have like about 30 weeks of curriculum on jump drives inside those boxes, along with candies, along with tools that you can use to execute icebreakers, children's ministry activities. There's some puppets in there, like this, listen, that box is full. And today, we are so happy to present that to all of the churches within our denomination at no cost. Robert, I know you want one. I know you do. But we ain't got one for you today. We'll talk. We'll talk. All right. It's important for you to know that in getting this today and in getting this year, you're going to pay for it every other year after that. That's okay, right? That box, each one of those boxes is worth about $350. Wow. Okay? And I can't even say I know that if the executive council was here, they'd be doing backflips if they could. Because this was really, really the heart of our general superintendent. And this was the heart of the executive council to remove every excuse from every church to not have a functioning children's and youth ministry. However it looks within our local churches. So today, every church represented here leaves with a box. And if you have any questions as to anything that's in the box or anything in reference to the curriculum or your youth ministries or your children's ministries, your Sunday school, whatever it looks like, you can see Cash or myself. Now it's important for you to know that the conversation was had for those of us who are staunch hybrid Church of God. The conversation was had about the Sunday school curriculum. We interacted with the Sunday school curriculum. And what we did was we decided that we wanted to present something to our church that was not only palatable for our leaders to present, but it would also be palatable to be received by our youth and our teens and our children, okay? So we are not wiping out completely what we've been doing before. All we're doing is ensuring that it's palatable. Because as it stands, for some of us, engaging with that material is way over our heads, if we tell the truth. And so what we did our best to do was ensure that it was broken down in a way where anyone can teach it and anyone can engage with it. Amen? Amen. So whatever you do before you leave today, sorry. Yes. Yes, definitely.
So we've incorporated that in the curriculum that makes it, very palatable to our younger kids, so they understand communicating with God.
And that is important. That is important. You know, they can watch us pray, but if watching us pray looks a little difficult because we didn't get our heavenly language. And so when the Holy Ghost falls upon us, they don't understand what's happening. And so what we've done is designed the curriculum that has that in it to help our little kids understand that they too can pray, they can communicate with God, and making it something that we have never presented it to them as. God is our friend. That's what He is. He's our friend first. And so when we introduce it to them as God being our BFF, He's telling you BFF every day, right? That's what they do. That's what kids do. And so we have, like Mericha says, we have not deviated from it, but enhanced it so that it's appealing for both youth leaders and our youth. Amen? Amen. Y'all should be excited about this because, like I tell y'all, I didn't have no team and I didn't have no box.
But now we have boxes.
Now we have boxes.
And I need to apologize because truthfully what was supposed to happen today, according to what we laid out, we were supposed to demonstrate how to use these kids today, but God had us to do otherwise, and we made no apologies for listening and yielding to the Spirit of God. But like I said, if there are any questions, anything you need to know, you can see either of us. But yeah, I'm done for real now. Thank you guys so much for your time.
All right, I think y'all can do a little better than that. No, I still think that's too low. Do a little better than that. All right, everybody, get up, 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 get up. Any this here? Anyway, ain't fine with me. I know late in the afternoon, I just canceled my flight because I actually was supposed to be here to the airport, but this is too important. But that didn't happen. I'm supposed to be back in Grand Bahama this evening. I have about 6 people in my house. I got 45 family members on the ground. There was 2 funerals and a wedding connected to my family today, but this is too important for me to go. That's how important it is. You heard what she said. You heard what she said. There's some people that do some things to make sure that you hear. That's how we do this. All right. Reach over your table, grab your person's hand and shake their hand, and just tell them something good. No. That's it. All right, yes sir, that was good. So move around for 30 seconds. You got 30 seconds. 1, 2, 3, go. Move around, touch somebody else. Tell them something good. Let's go. We get ready to rock.